Long-range planning. Here are the members of that committee that are there. Let me give you a little history, as I'm going to talk about a master site plan in just a moment, how we got there. When we began the search for a new youth minister, which of course turned out to be Susanna, we needed better. The topic came up is, hey, we need better facilities for our youth. And then quickly behind that was, we also need better facilities for our children. We as a church have done a great job in investing in personnel, meaning having staff leadership for those, but the tools that we have facility-wise are not always the best. None of the spaces that we have are really all that helpful in reaching and retaining young families that have those. We've tried to do some things to keep improving those, but you know, our youth meet on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights in a building that it was intended to be a garage to start with. They've done some great things. Susanna and others painted this summer and did some great stuff to make it more attractive and fun on the inside, and we're thankful for all of that. But our major hallway goes through our nurseries in the church. None of that's helpful to any of the above. So just those kinds of elements and where we don't have some really good facilities, and it's hard to make those secure when that is the case. Long-range planning then presented and approved a request for us to develop a master site plan using HH Architects in June of 2018. And HH is a primarily church architecture firm, and we began that process of working with them. A master plan is a plan for the use of the church property and considers where we are now and where we would like to be. What do we have? We were to grow and develop. What is it that we need? What would we like to have? How would we develop that? So that if we build one part, we have a plan of everything else that comes. So we can do it strategically and we can do it well. Approving a master site plan doesn't mean that we're also going to immediately execute the plan. Those are separate issues, okay? A recommendation that here's a master site plan that we believe if we were to grow, as we would grow and build, this is what we would like to see us do, is very different than to say we want to start phase one of that. And we need several $1 million to do that, and let's do that. Those are very different things. So the approval of the first part doesn't mean we're immediately or will do the second one until we vote on that one individually as well. So I'm glad it's a Sunday night, not a Sunday morning. Anyway, okay, so I'm fixing to show you some images and just kind of walk you through those images. So hopefully they show up well. So this is our existing campus. I hope that looks, yeah, George is getting it. Does that help? Very good. All right, good deal. I thought I had turned those down earlier, but I guess I didn't. All right, so what is in the orange is the church property. And some of you may not be aware that what's in the orange across the street is also the church property. You may not be aware that right over there belongs to us. So that is the church property, just so that you know that and have that framed. And if you've ever wondered, well, what's next door or how many swimming pools are across the street the other way, now you can know. All right. So this is a bird's eye view of what could be down the road. All right. So we see our existing facilities all the way on the right. That bigger white roof part on the end would be a future sanctuary. I'll show you a different image in a minute. In the middle, you see kind of two white phases. Those are two different educational phases in a long connection. Here's a ground level view of that, like you were out looking from the street toward the building. So now let me give you a kind of a more of a rendering of that. I never used this little pointer thing. We'll see if that'll work. Okay, on this one over here. Of course, this is where we are. We're in here for now. This master site plan then would include this is the new, as we started talking about, we've got to have better facilities for youth and children. So this would be that section right here, okay? This one would be, as we fill this one out, then we need more space. That's what this is for, all right? To do that would be a connecting way right through here. But to do that, we would lose all of the nurseries there because they're going to go there. And we would flow out into there. And continue on, and we would keep moving north as we needed to do more elements of that. As well, then, you would have right here, I'll talk about this a little more. We'd start moving some stuff in the office area as well. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. But you kind of see the elements that are there. As you move farther north, then is multiple phases down the road, potentially. So you see a bigger picture. Well, you can't do all of that at once unless somebody in here has been hiding about $25 million and you just like to give us that to us, then we could put it to use. But I'm guessing none of you do. Anyway, although I do have a pastor friend in Oklahoma, was pastored a church, and he had a church member near the end of the year one day sold his business for $220 million and simply dropped his $22 million tithe check in the offering plate. Tellers, how would you like that on Monday morning? Well, I could hear the screaming from my office. Woo, man. All right, good deal. So, but since that doesn't happen, how might we move along that way? So that's what this part is about. So this would be what could be a phase one, all right? To help you see that. So here we are. We're all in here. We take all of these nurseries out, and then these two offices that Dana and JT occupy would actually come down this way to the hallway. All right? And then as you do that, then this would be a big open 2-story area right here, and then all of the children in here. This is enough for now. Okay? Go backwards. There we go. Right here, this purpley area, as this part would get full, then this allows us to expand that. That's been the thinking. But with this is right here is a secure check-in and doors that go into the children's area. No hallway walking through the children's area, and the people that are in there are supposed to be in there. They've had background checks. They're the people that are working with the children. Parents drop off their kids there, pick them up there. All right? To allow us to do that. And then, this was the second level of that. So upstairs, so the middle school girls have lost their classroom right there, and the ladies have lost your classroom because this right here is a second-story walkway. And if I understand correctly from them, you can actually see over below from that second-story walkway. And as you get down here to the door that goes into the youth area, it would also be set up for a secure check-in that as the children's area grows and you need to expand children upstairs, and then we do something else different for youth, then you've already built in a secure check-in area. And so then you have this whole area for youth upstairs. And just as a reminder, what many of you may not be aware, but our gym area is actually prepared for a second floor. It was built that way. Some of you may have forgotten that, but it was built that way so that it could hold a second floor. But if you were to build that, then this is what that would look like. All right, from the outside, it would stop part of the way down, but allow it to be an open-looking, attractive building. From the ground, that's what it would look like. And then as you're approaching it down, coming south on Lakeshore, kind of moved into the parking lot, this is what you would see. Question and answers. Go back. How far? Actually, it'd be off the street just a tad, I think, from where they set up, the architectural firm set up that view. I think it's off the street just a tad. So kind of into the parking lot. Right there would be the street. Okay? All right. Questions? Yes, sir.
Ballpark dollars for phase
$4
one.
million.
Is that all? Because you're looking at the inflation over time.
Well, he's asking right now. I don't know what it would be if we get to build it, but for now, it's $4 million. So, which is part of the reason that area has two phases. Because if you would build everything we'd really like to build, then it's 6, 7, 8. But to look at that starts. But 4, kind of. All right? Yes, sir.
So phase 1 doesn't necessarily add any more classrooms than we have today?
Doesn't necessarily add more classrooms, but it would add more space. One of the challenges that we have is most of our children's classrooms are not big enough. The nursery rooms are not large enough rooms. The children's classrooms are not large enough rooms. When you look at learning levels, children of certain sizes, how much space do they need? They're not big enough rooms. The new ones, even though there's not more of them, the new rooms would be appropriate and would handle more children. Oh, okay. Good question. Let me back up. Okay, yes, thank you. The question was, so existing spaces, what might we use those for? Very good question. And this is just kind of ballpark at this point, what we might do. So Dana and JT's offices could very likely come down this way. And then one of the things that would happen with that is this door back here becomes the office entrance, which allows us to close the rest of the building and make the building more secure during the day. Okay? That's an issue for us. Happy Day will tell you that's an issue. We lost 6 families this year because that front door is not locked. All right? We're still one child away from being completely full, and we added a class. But still, that's an issue. But one of the things that might happen as well is here, then upstairs, this area, we would gather the staff offices in that area. Then we would be just above where Dana and JT are, easy access to them. The biggest challenge is there's not an elevator right there. It's around the way for people who would need to come see us that need an elevator, but we could accommodate that. But if we do that, then we might do things like put piano studios here, and then kids have quick, easy access. They're not as up and moving through more of the building as well.
Where is that?
Where is what?
You just said where the piano studio is.
Right there. That's Susanna and Linda's offices. Right here. Right here. It's right out this door.
We would need approximately 3 rooms.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're talking some generalities. We haven't nailed any of that down, but some of that could be in. And if all the staff offices are upstairs, that could create space for that. And then much of what is upstairs could remain the same. These are all adult classes. Could have room for, if we put all the staff over here, which means we move the pastor out, so you can have a class there. You've got some rooms here. And then if we move the piano studios, you've got room to put in there. Variety of things. Yeah, Jerry?
You talked about the children, you talked about the rearrangement, but you say things about you.
Oh, yes. Right here, This is the second story of what could be phase one. That would be for youth.
Okay, so the first phase would be youth on the upper story.
Youth upstairs, children downstairs. Okay? David?
Just a point of clarification, so the secure children's area would be birth through 6th grade?
Fifth grade.
All through 5th grade, they would all be in that area?
Yes. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
making sure all those ages were.
Yeah, part of that is we group them now, right now, but those rooms are bigger, so they would allow for more in them. One of the things that was talked about was, what do we do with Surge and Surge Junior? And part of that is this upstairs area in the youth one would have a large room in it, so you might could put the Surge worship there, using the spaces multiple times. Yes?
Where's Happy Day?
In there.
How many groups is that?
I don't know. Well, and let me tell you this. They've just put rooms on there. We've not nailed down all of those. That's just general space. What could be there, but it's not precise. It's not to scale by any means.
Or do you have a square footage then?
Yes, but not in my head. So, sorry about that. Yes, ma'am.
Two areas be connected, like could you get from the first floor to the second floor with staying within the secured zones?
No. No, you'd have to go out of it.
So if you're talking to have surge in the youth rooms, that means they would have to leave the downstairs to go to the upstairs?
Yes. See, right here, there's a door, but there's stairs right there. Oh, whoa. They would be right there beside that. There's a set of stairs, and somewhere down that way as well, maybe not in phase one, but somewhere down that way would be another elevator as well. Just, it would be enough people, enough movement, we would need more than one elevator. But yeah, it'd be come out, go up, and go right back in. But doing that movement with adults. And more parking spaces, yes. Yeah. He's working. George's trying to work on it, so. Oh, okay. Yeah, you may have to help him. Reagan's going to come see if he can help you. We've been having trouble with that brand new machine. Lovely. Year-old machine now. Yes, David?
Talking about moving the office back here, so the idea that door would stay locked, and so it would be like a secure entrance, so there'd be like a doorbell or something, and then Dana or whoever would unlock it to let someone in.
General concept of that. But just allow that when we've got people in the building, but nobody's assigned to watch a door, we're more secure. And you hate that, but but it's the reality. The transient population is increasing. They can see the steeple from the highway. We get those just steps to keep things safe. Yes, Linda?
I deliver flyers about our monasteries, all big churches in town.
Right.
Willow Park and Oligo. And I'm sad to say, every church has a secure way in and out except ours.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a concern to me.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, Lee.
Kind of be my question. We're talking about the security for the children, and that is great, we need that. But in the immediate, before we build buildings, are we discussing security for the congregation? And we've had some things happen recently, very close to us.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. We have ongoing conversations about that. Some of that is having leaders who can step up and do that, and some of our people that are also ask the most questions and have a propensity for that also have other roles that they already fulfill on a Sunday morning. So those are challenges. Those are ongoing conversations, and the hope and desire is that in this year there's a much better plan in place so that we are secure. So, and even one of our potential new church members has done a lot with church security. So, which is, I was like, hey, that's a need we have, and God might just bring the right person. All right. Yes?
Parking, how much of our current parking does this eliminate? And do we pick up additional lots across the street or what?
It would eliminate some, Jerry. I don't know how many, but then it would also add more. We would build more around. Yeah.
It looks like we take this grassy area out to this side and make our lot out of it.
Yeah, we would. You'd build more all the way around. Okay.
And across the street.
You could.
Where the community center is shown on one of them.
Yeah.
Parking there, you could
Yeah.
go across the street.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay. Yes, sir. No, no need to be sorry. We're here for questions.
What triggers the start of phase one? Is it we need to hit a certain budget level? We need to hit a certain church growth model? Doesn't matter. We've got to do this now because we have these needs of security with children and so forth that needs to be met. What starts that?
Okay. We have not defined that, but we would need to define that, and I think the church approved what that is. But I think once we get to the place where because the original motion to the church is that we hire a firm to do a master site plan. Once we approve that, but we know, hey, here's the first part, what are the steps to get us to that? And that we would define that in that element. But great question. Did everybody hear that? Okay, good. All right.
What are your thoughts on balancing current reality with future needs?
Okay, define that a little more, Jerry. My first answer is I don't really know at this point. I mean, those are big challenges that we have to face and look at, and we may have to make some tough choices along the way. But I think it was, and I'm going to mention this. I have some things I'm going to say at the end as well. Is, hey, look, we have pictures on the screen now. Thanks, George and Reagan. The preaching plan to start with Ephesians at the first Sunday of this year and work our way through Ephesians was laid out way back in the fall. I thought it was really interesting when I realized what the passage of Scripture for this morning was and what we were doing tonight. And this morning we're talking about praying for wisdom and revelation and enlightened hearts so that we know how to follow the Lord. And tonight we're talking about stuff that's big stuff, and it's not easy. If we were flush with cash, it'd be easy, but maybe it's best it's not easy, because we really have to trust the